The Stranger by Albert Camus. It will force you to confront what you actually believe about life before society finishes deciding for you. Notes from Underground by Fyodor Dostoevsky. It is the most brutally honest portrait of a self-sabotaging mind ever put into print. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. A man who ruled an empire wrote this only for himself and never intended for you to read it. The Lessons of History by Will and Ariel Durant. It compresses everything humanity has learned across 5,000 years into 128 pages you have no excuse not to read. Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. It follows a young man who thought he was special enough to operate above moral consequence and was wrong. The Genealogy of Morality by Friedrich Nietzsche. It asks who actually created the values you live by and whether they were ever really yours to begin with. Letters to a Young Poet by Rainer Maria Rilke. A genius wrote 10 letters to a confused young man and somehow wrote them directly to you. Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse. It follows a man who rejected every external path and had to find truth entirely on his own terms. The Plague by Albert Camus. It teaches you how to behave with dignity when the world around you stops making sense. Surely You're Joking, Mr. Feynman by Richard Feynman. It shows you what a life built on genuine curiosity rather than status or approval actually looks like. The Master and Margarita by Mikhail Bulgakov. It is a strange, brilliant, subversive novel about power, art, and what happens when the devil visits a city of cowards. Thinking in Systems by Donella. Meadows. It teaches you to stop looking at isolated events and start seeing the hidden structures that create them. The Consolations of Philosophy by Alain de Botton. It takes the greatest philosophical thinkers in history and makes them genuinely useful to your actual life. Thus Spoke Zarathustra by Friedrich Nietzsche. It will disturb you, challenge you, and demand that you become something more than what you currently are. The Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky. It is the greatest novel ever written about faith, doubt, family, and what it means to be a moral person. Walden by Henry David Thoreau. It dares you to ask whether the life you're building is actually the life you want. The Art of War by Sun Tzu. It has nothing to do with fighting and everything to do with thinking clearly under pressure. Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. It is a gut punch of a novel about intelligence, loneliness, and what we sacrifice chasing the idea of being more. Factfulness by Hans Rosling. It systematically destroys the false picture of the world you've been carrying around in your head. The Denial of Death by Ernest Becker. It argues that almost everything humans do is secretly driven by the terror of knowing they will die.